Hello students, today we are going to study the square roots and how to find out the perfect square roots. Basically, what do you mean by square roots? Now take for example, I know that 3 square. What is 3 square? 3 into 3, 9. So the square root is the inverse operation, inverse function of squaring. So I will say square root of 9 is 3. Now here you can see that when you square root 9 you get a perfect integer. So this is called as a perfect square root. But if you see square roots like square root of 7, you can't find the perfect integer value. So such numbers are called as irrational numbers. These are the irrational numbers. Now when we are finding the square roots, we have to keep certain things in mind. So let us consider this thing first. We'll see the numbers from 1 to 10 and see their squares. So if I consider the number 1, its square is 1. 2, the square is 4. 3, the square is 9. 4, the square is 16. 5, the square is 25. 6, the square is 36. 7, the square is 49. 8, the square is 64. 9, the square is 81. And 10, the square is 100. So now let us think in the opposite way. Suppose I consider the number and I will think about the digit in units place of the square root. So instead of just saying the number, I'll say the units place in the number. So the digit in units place of the number, and what are the possible digits in the units place of its square root. So if I consider 1, so as you can say 1 square is 1, so the units place will be 1, and even 9 square is 81, units place is 1. So digit in the units place of the square root can be either 1 or 9. Okay, so consider 4. Keep it in mind, if the square root is perfect, its units place will be either 1 or 4 or 9 or 6 or 5. No other place can be there. So when the digit in the units place is 4, number ends with 4. So the square root will end with what? Either 2 or 8. As you can see, 8 square is 64. So 2 or 8. Now the digit in the units place of the number is 9. So either it can be, the square root can be ending with 3 or 7. So the digit in the units place of the square root can be 3 or 7. Okay. Similarly 6, then it can be either 4 or 6. 5, it can be only 5. And if the number ends with 0, its square root will end with only 0. So these things, just keep them in mind. So let us see how to find out some of the perfect square roots. So first I'll consider 4-digit numbers. So take the example of square root of 2, 4, 0, 1. So your first step is make the groups of 2 from the right side. So there will be 2 groups, 24, 0, 1. Now here the number is ending with 1. So the square root will end with what? Either 1 or 9. And the square root will be 2-digit numbers. So I have to fill this digit. So consider 24 and check between which two perfect square the 24 lies. So 4 square is 16, which is less than 24, and 5 square is 25, which is greater than 24. So fill this blank with the smaller of the two, that is smaller of 4 and 5. So here 4, 4. Now I want to find out of 41 and 49 which is the correct one. So what I'll do is I'll take the product of 4 and 5. 4 5s are 20. Okay, so your second group is 24, product is 20. So compare 24 and 20. 24 is greater than 20. Okay, since 24 is greater than 20, the bigger of the two should be the square root. That means the square root should be 49. Okay, when you are comparing, keep the second group on the left hand side and the product on the right hand side. Now consider one more problem. Square root of 8464. 8464. Again, make the groups of 2's. Now the number is ending with 4, so square root should end with 2 or 8. So I have to fill this blank. So what I'll do? 84. 84 lies between which two perfect squares? 9 square is 81, which is smaller, and 10 square 100, which is greater. Now out of 9 or 10, fill with the smaller number. So either 92 or 98. Now how to select the correct one out of the two? Take the product. 9 into 10, that is 90. Keep the second group 84 on the left hand side, the product 90 on the right hand side, and now compare. 84 is less than 90. Since this is less than, I'll select the smaller one. That means square root of 8464 should be 92. Okay with you students? Let us consider some of the 5-digit numbers similarly now. Take for example, I want to find out the square root of 11025. 5. That is 11,025. So I will make the group 25 and make the group of all these three digits together, 110. Now since the number is ending with 5, its square root will end with only 5. I want to fill this blank. Now 110 will come between which two perfect squares? On one side it is 10 square, that is 100. On the other side it is 11 square, that is 121. And fill the blank with the smaller of the two, 10 and 11. That is, now since the number is ending with 5, there is only one option. So that means the square root of 11,025 will be 105. Take one more problem here. Square root of 18496. 18,496. So how will you do the grouping? Starting from right to and then all three. So one group is 184, other is 96. Now, since the number is ending with 6, the square root will end either with 4 or 6. So these blanks I have to fill. Now 184 lies between which two perfect squares? On one side it is 13 square, that is 169. 169 is less than 184, and on other side it is 14 square, which is 196. So fill this blank with the smaller 13, 14, or 13, 13. So either 134 or 136. Now I have to decide which one is the correct one. So what I'll do, I'll take the product 13 into 14. Now 13 into 14 is 182. Keep 184, that is the second group on the left side, 182 on the right side. So 184 is greater than 182. That means out of these two options, I have to select the bigger one. And hence, square root of 18496, 18,496 should be 136. Okay with you, students? So try yourself some of the perfect square roots. Take some of the numbers which are perfect squares and try to find out their square roots. Okay, enjoy the day. See you in the next class.